Hey, what's going on guys? DV back, and I'm here with my little twin. He's going to be one of my mascots for the upcoming store that I'm putting into Spawn. I am making a glowstone little stall because I've figured out a way to generate glowstone without needing any other materials other than two things, which is your energized glowstone bucket and the gelid cryothium. Now when those two meet, it freezes and forms a glowstone block. I figured that out back in my FTB monster days and found out how to do it in Attack of the BTeam, and I thought these guys would really benefit from a glowstone shop A. So what I've managed to figure out how to do is to get block breakers and block detectors with filters, etc., and a cyclic assembler to get the glowstone dust into its block form, and from there we'll chuck it into a deep storage unit. And as you can see, I've already had it running a little bit and it's already managed to get that much. So I think what we're going to do now is set up how we want it and get it, then we'll work on the actual stall itself. So what we need to do is figure out where our glowstone block is going to be, and I think I wanted it to be about here. So our block breaker and etc. Block breaker will need to be placed there, and our block detector will need to be placed here, and we'll have a little bit of redstone between the two of them. Just so the signal can get sent, and as you can tell, it just broke it then. Problem is, it will just break any old block. So what we needed to do is to actually make it only break the glowstone block itself. So we just use a block filter, and they're pretty easy to make. They're let's see, just some redstone, stone, and a bit of paper. And you right click whatever block you want and then chuck it in the machine. Okay, so because the cyclic assembler actually needs power, we do need a way to generate such power. So I think a compression dynamo running off our liquid XP is probably the best way. So the compression dynamo runs off two liquids. One of them can be water, which is what I'm planning on using, and the other is going to be our XP. So once I get up, okay, we'll put our aqueous accumulator down there. Excellent, and that'll feed straight in. So from here, what we do is we'll put our machine down, our dynamo, sorry, that'll fill up with water, and we need our cyclic assembler, and we'll put that there. Configure the outputs, so we want this as the in and we want the top as the out, just so it makes it a little bit easier. So here is our deep storage unit. So if we put a glowstone block right here, that'll break. That will assemble it once it gets some power and put it into the deep storage unit for anyone to grab. Okay, so the two things that we do need are our gelid cryothium to actually freeze the energetic glowstone and the energetic glowstone itself. Now the thing with glowstone is it doesn't flow down, it flows up, which can make it a little bit annoying, especially when you're trying to put it somewhere where it's not really meant to belong. But good thing I did bring my little backpack, which I'll put down here. Not there, empty hand. Okay. So here I've got a little bit of stuff that we can use to make what we need. I think we'll just put the cap on for the glowstone, just so it makes it that little bit easier, and we'll might put the back guy there just to make sure that nothing happens, and then we'll jump down the back here. Now the glowstone itself can be a bit of a pain, but I think now that's the setup that we need. So we'll get our one block to keep it from going directly up, and it should travel along here and up. And because we've got this block here, it should stay there, and because that block's there, it'll stay within that little area. Now, our energy, our cryothium, sorry, we need a little area for that. So I think we'll grab some redwood planks that we've already divvied up, and we sort of need it to come around in this sort of fashion. Now, I think if we set it up there, it actually flows much like lava, so not as far as water, and a little bit slower as well. So I think here's a good length, so we'll try that out. And this will actually put snow down, as you can see, because it is so cold, so to say. So you can see here, it's from that distance, it's still freezing the glowstone. But what we might do is use this to cap off our glowstone and just make sure that this actually flows far enough. Okay, so it actually needs to be one block closer, but what we might do is put it in this strip here. So we'll grab our covers again, put them along here, get rid of that one, and then put one here. Oh, I see. Okay, so I'm going to put them on the outside. Okay, so once we put this in, that'll actually give it a good flow distance to where we need. Once this breaks, oh my god, that takes so long. I'd really need to invest in an axe. Okay, so put that there, and we should have a nice little spot. And we'll get rid of this one in particular. I'm going to get hurt in a minute if I'm not careful. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I'm going to need to get into a bat. Oh, I'm definitely going to die. And of course, lag. I was out, right, guys? Oh, I was definitely out. Oh, well, I think I'll cut and I'll get back to you. Okay, we're back. I managed to get everything. As you can tell, the glowstone was being a bit of a nightmare there. What we might do is just break this one, and that should let the cryothium flow in, or maybe not. Yeah, it can be a bit of a pain. So we'll just put that one there for the moment. And who knows, we could even leave it like this, just to see if that actually works. But let's just, for argument's sake, get rid of it. Okay, there we go. That's working much better. Okay, so from here, that's all well and good for it to keep breaking, but it's building up inside. So what we need is, for the cyclic assembler, we do need a schematic to tell it what to build. And I've already set that up for 4 glowstone dust. And what you do is you put your recipe in there and hit the good button. And then it'll start making it. But we don't have power. So I think the next thing we should do is set up where the liquid XP should go. Now I've got a couple of tanks. I believe they're in my backpack. I'm not quite sure. Yes. Or they could be tucked in there somewhere, who knows. I did have a couple of tanks, that's what the main point is. Okay, anyway, we'll grab these guys. And I think when people come in, we'll set it up to be here and there. So our LXP absorber it will absorb our XPs most of the time. It is a bit buggy, it is a bit weird. Okay, but then we get that to feed through. Oh my god, where is all my stuff? I've lost my pick. I know. I bet ya it's gone down here. Let's have a little venture. Nope, definitely not down there. Okay. Well, anyway, let's get this cover back on. Looks like I've been eating a new pick. Good lord. Yup. Guess the cryo theme destroys the block like lava does, which is a bit of a sad panda. But, oh, here we go again. Anyway, that's the main part of the setup. So what happens here is the LXP will go through to there, get put into there, and what we can do is actually, can we grab a bucket of it yet? Take my levels, take my levels, take all of the levels. Okay, so obviously it's being a bit of a glitchy pain. I think our other option is to get the LXP and convert it into go from OpenBlocks XP through to LXP and then into here, because the compression dynamo won't take the OpenBlocks XP, which does suck monkey balls. However, I will persevere and come back to you when I've got a good setup. Okay, we're back. Oh, and by the way, I didn't lose my pick like I thought I did. Turned out it was just in my inventory. Right, so I've been playing around with this, and it seems that it's a little bit wonky. And this is finally filled up. I think we'll take the redstone signal off that now, just so we're not causing any more lag. Okay, so the thing about this, right, is it does output, but not all the time. For example, right, if I've got my open blocks, right, 22 levels, it filled it up. But before, it wasn't working. So I shrugged my shoulders, no idea what's going on. Okay, but at least now, so you can see the two different textures. Like, we both know one isn't liquid XP, but it is. But anyway, we'll just absorb all this. And chuck another tank on. And that filled it. Excellent. Okay, well, sod it. That we'll have to do. Now we'll output to this. No, we want... Yeah. There, going to there. And we have to power this guy. Alright. Now we're getting power. Going up into there, filling that up. Oh, look at it go. Look at it go. So now this will get filled up like absolute crazy. Good, good. I was worried about that for quite some time. Just wanted to make sure that worked. But, that's going to cut the flow off, isn't it? what we need. What I might do is actually just cover this as a window, just so people can see in. I thought that'd be a cool little addition. So from here, what we're going to have to do is set it up so that it looks like a stall, and we need to micro block all of this to make sure no snow gets out, because that just makes it look like a big old eyesore. So we'll cover that. And what I found out in my testing is that sometimes it will get stuck in this position and a signal needs to be sent to reset it. So what we'll do is we'll just put a little button on there, and that should be enough. So 1, 2. Realistically, you only need 1. I choose 2 just because why not? Okay, so what I might do now is set up the stall. It's only going to be a little one, but as long as if this keeps working in its fashion, I shouldn't need to make it any bigger. And for that, I might actually speed it up. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, that does it. It looks like a good little store. I think there might be a couple little improvements I'll make along the way, but at least it's a little shop so that everyone can come in and give a little XP. That'll get the machine running again. And if this does get stuck, we've got a reset button to use. So that should be all for this part of the video. What I might do is actually cover that. But yeah, so there you go, all the glowstone you could ever want. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next bit. And here we are guys, this is my new my new thermal expansion room I should say. As you can tell, I've done a little bit of improvements around the base. Our major one is our mob essence tree. Not hooked up to anything at the moment, but it will be soon once we get the TeknoAXE online. But here's the major one. This is our thermal expansion room. As you can see, I've set my machines up. Just a bit of a design done there. But because I've figured out how to do unlimited glowstone before with the stall, I've decided to just put all tanks around the edge, and I think it sort of matches in well with the colour scheme I've got going here. It's a bit factory and it's a bit blue. I like the blue, it sort of matches with the yellow quite good. But yeah, this actually gives off light, which is perfect. But yeah, so all we've got here is just a few extra machines just to get us on the go. This is actually the best one that I've set up. Thank God I don't have to mine obsidian anymore, and I've got that hooked up to a lava fab just in the back there. And behind here is actually our glowstone farm that I've got. So although I've got one at spawn, I've got one here at home. So as you can tell, that's it there. Give it a bit of a reset and it'll break blocks all day. My deep storage unit is here, and I think we've got a decent amount. I think we'll be good for quite some time. But yeah, so as a result of me having so much glowstone, I'm going to use quite a lot of it in my builds. I'm actually using it for my power system. If we go down here, under our tree, I've actually got 2 reactant dynamos, both running off blaze powder and energized glowstone, and I just melt that down in a magma crucible, yeah. So every now and again I'll chuck a stack of glowstone in, that'll feed through to these guys, and they produce a ton of energy, so there's no real need to worry about outputs and all that sort of thing. As far as automating it, I've got my blaze powder already set up to be relatively automatic. It does get stuck here and there, but it keeps it topped up wherever I need it. So yeah, that powers these 3 guys, and as you can tell, we're completely full with all those machines in there, plus our new mob spawner that we've got in here. So let's take a look at that. I've managed to make it quite large, just so that we can fit the larger mobs in here as well. I haven't got ghasts spawning in here just yet, but working on trying to get that space available for them to spawn. But yeah, as you can tell, I've kept the factory block look, put some conveyor belts in, just so this grinder, because the grinder only works in a 5x5 area, and this is actually a 7x7 spawning area, so you just bring them into that little area and then they'll die and produce all the drops that you need. I've been killing a ton of cows just so I can get enough food for the rest of my days. But yeah, so I've used a bit of chiseled limestone, a bit of marble, just to make the place look brighter, because it is quite dark over in there. I think I might put some more glowstone around there just to keep it bright, but the only reason it's mostly dark is because of what I've got going on down here. Now, if we just take a little drop down here, as you can see, we've got 2 witch spawners, which I used my block teleporters to get here. And they produce all the mob essence for the system. So all I do is I just AFK here for a while, let the spawners spawn. This grinder here collects it, and all the drops go into here as well. And this requires emptying every now and again. It's still quite manual, but I don't mind for the moment. But as you can see, they'll just keep spawning and dying and producing mob essence. So that's exactly what we're after. So I've got quite a few mobs that I've captured, one of them being the most important, Blaze, so that we can use our power system. But yeah, I've got my skeleton, my roaster, that's for my red dye, so for all the Project Red stuff that we're going to need, that's one of the best ways to get your red dye. A villager, I actually found a really good trade, so I made sure I captured him, and we can spawn regular villagers as well as the one with that particular deal, using your spawn exact copy. The blaze, of course, will keep the power system going. Some mushrooms, that'll be for all my beef and leather and all that sort of stuff. A ghast, I'm still trying to get them to spawn, but I'll end up getting that to work. Some blue slime, just because. I haven't got any other slimes in my system yet, so I've just got a blue slime guy. The Enderman is the most interesting one, because he is the type of Enderman that has a backpack on him. So the benefit of that is that you can get your own Ender backpack. So we changed the exact copy, yes, so that it spawns the exact Enderman that was there. And we'll give it a kick over. Now the cool thing about this is that it actually drops my Ender backpack. So I've got one of these now because I traded with one of the Endermen, and this should be spawning. There we go. See there, and you can see the backpack there. And I think you used to be able to look in them, but I don't think you can. Yeah, he's gone elsewhere now. Anyway, yeah, we'll cut that. So all I do is I just put an ender chest in here, and he'll eventually swap out whatever we need, and he'll put his ender backpack down and take the chest instead, and then we take the ender backpack and run on our merry way. But yeah, so I have to turn the grinder off, of course, just so that they don't die before they actually swap over. But yeah, so I've managed to get one, I've given Agent one, I've got Rapid one, and I think Heavy's got one as well, so it's proven pretty good for the whole server. And they're so very handy. They're so secure as well, so I keep my little luggage guy in there, and all my ammunition, just in case a wither fight pops up. You never know. I think we'll be doing one later on, just so we can get a few more nether stars and all that sort of thing. I've got my smeltery set up. I've got it quite a lot taller now, so it stores a lot more. As you can see, I've got a bit of a scroll bar there. But liquefied emeralds. Now, I figured out that the spawning rates from the regular villages, I can actually get my own supply of emeralds quite easily. So what I might do is actually move the witch farm off to another spot, probably closer to the center, so that it's constantly spawning, and actually put a smelter under here and put some drawbridges through there, so that the villagers will actually drop into the smeltery and consequently make me lots and lots of emeralds, which I cannot wait for. It's one of the very few things that is rare. But yeah, so that's basically what we've got going on at home. I've actually got a storage system happening now, which is brilliant. I've got it all set up above the tree, so the tree sort of still plays an organic part in this whole base. So through here you've got your request pipe, and that's just looking like it's a bit of a branch coming down. But here is my secret chest, and it's a camo chest, so you know, if I want to put things away I can just get rid of them. And then they go to up here, which is where all my storage is. Now I've used these lockers simply because they can be put together with one block. They don't require space. You can just really chuck them in and it's perfectly fine. So as you can see, this is where everything is. But up here is the whole system. So this is where the request pipe comes in. All of these have the broadcaster chip and the responder chip, and the responder chip has to be blacklisted in order for that to work. I had quite a lot of trouble. Rapid tried helping me, Agent helped me, and we eventually got it sorted out. But the responder pipes, the responder chips, I should say, are actually whitelisted by default, and you've got to switch that. Otherwise, your system won't work. But here you can see the camo chest going into the interface pipe, and that just goes back up into our system. So this is sort of, I can expand, you know, in a row of an extra 10 or so, and just chuck another 10 down, another 10 down, and have virtually unlimited storage. But as you can see, the power from the tree comes up to here, and that goes off over to our thermal expansion room. This shoots off down to our mob spawner, just so the mob spawner's got a good bandwidth of power. And yeah, it's coming along well. I've got to do another couple of trees yet, so hopefully they'll be in the next couple of videos. But I think what we might do is go and have a look at spawn, because quite a few things have happened since I built the little stall. And once we load up, as you can see, quite a lot has changed. So we'll give it a little fly over there. Rapid spawners are still here. They're sort of off the side of the city, but they're still an integral part. Here is what Agent is building. Agent is building a church, and it is fantastic. He's used carpenter blocks to their full potential. And what else is he using here? Oh, he's used chiseled sandstone. Now, as you can see, it looks a bit weird, but that's because he's using sky blocks. Sky blocks will project whatever sky is above it, regardless of what blocks are actually on the outside. So it constantly looks like the sky. And I really like this. In fact, I really want to put it in my base. Because being underground, you sort of don't know what time it is, you don't know if it's raining or whatnot. And using sky blocks, I think, will be one of the biggest benefits. But yeah, as you can see, it sort of projects up and down, so I'll have to figure out a way to get that to work correctly. But yeah, Agent's doing really well. This will actually be our new little spawn area, so if we ever die, should we ever need to, we can run straight out into our little spawn area. This is a little restaurant that Mitch has started making. He's experimenting quite a lot of different styles. I really like these little micro-blocked umbrellas, quite clever. And yeah, so he's going to have a little setup here, his own little stall, so it's good to see, you know, spawn coming along quite nicely. As you can see, my stall is still here, still plugging away, and it's got quite a lot of glowstone. People just come, take whatever they need, that's perfectly fine, it'll keep plugging away. But yeah, so that's spawn for the moment. And yeah, once we get a good move along, we'll be able to improve our base some more, and hopefully get our advanced genetics room going. I think that'll be the next port of call. Seeing our storage is all set up, and we're going to have to do something with our portal room. I'm quite sick of seeing that mess, but we'll work on that too. But as you can tell, all my cabinets are gone. I feel so much better now that they're out of here. They're all chucked up top to keep them out of the way. But yeah, so there'll be a lot more to come in the next couple of days. I'm glad everyone likes my little stall. Hopefully there'll be a few more projects coming up that I can do in Spawn. And yeah, let's have another check on our glowstone. Yeah, as you can tell, it's going up pretty quickly, so I might have to figure out what else to do with that. Maybe even a couple of pranks, who knows. But alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.